In this video, I'll have 3 beginner's method example solves for a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. If you don't yet know how to solve a Rubik's Cube, I'll have tutorial links in the description. All of these scrambles were done with a white top and a green front. For this scramble, I can bring this edge up here, this edge up here too, and I see this one, so I'll move the front side and bring it up, and the last one is right here. Now I will match up the columns and bring them down to the white side. And there's the white cross. Now I see this corner first, but it's in the wrong slot, so I'll have to take it out and insert it into the right slot. I see this corner, it's also flipped incorrectly, so I'll take it out and insert it back in. This corner is already in its right position to be inserted, so I go ahead and insert that corner. And I see this corner that needs to go down here, so I put it in the top right and insert it. I now see that we already have this edge solved, and in the top layer, this is the only edge without yellow, so I'm going to go ahead and solve that. So make a vertical line, move it away, and do an algorithm to solve that. I now see, oh, there's no more non-yellow edges in the top, so I'll have to take this edge out and reinsert the corner, and now I can solve for this edge. I see this edge last, and this is our last one, so I'll make a vertical line, move it away, and solve it. I now need to orient these edges. We have the L case, so I'll solve the yellow cross, and now I need to solve all of the edges. So the case that we have is 2 adjacent edges solved and 2 unsolved adjacent edges. So I'll put the unsolved ones in the bottom left and do an algorithm to solve all of the edges. And I now need to orient the corners, so I need to see how many corners are already in the right spot. So for this case, it looks like we don't have any in the correct spot, so we'll do the algorithm once to orient one of the corners. And now I should have one correct, which is this one. So I'll put that in the top right and do that algorithm again. And now all of our corners are still not correct, so I'll do the algorithm again. And now all of the corners are correct. So I'll now put the white side on the top and orient these corners to the bottom. And now I'll move the next unsolved one over, solve that corner, and this is our last one. And we solved it. This scramble, I can bring up this edge, and that will set up this edge to bring up to the yellow side. And that just leaves this one and this one. Now I will make a matching column and bring them down to the white side to make the yellow cross. Now that we have our yellow cross, we need to solve for the corners. So I see this white, green, and red. So I'll put it above the green and red sides and do the algorithm to solve the corner. I do the same for this corner. Now we have this corner. And last we have the blue, red, and white corner. I immediately see this edge because it's not yellow and it's already making a line, so I'll go ahead and solve that one. Now I see this edge, this one, and this one is the last non-yellow edge in the top, so we'll make a vertical line and solve that one. We have the horizontal line case for the yellow cross, so we'll go ahead and do the algorithm for that. And now we need to solve all of our edges, and they happen to already be solved. So now we need to look for the corners that are oriented properly. So right now, this is the only one that's oriented properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the top right and do that algorithm from earlier to orient all of them. And we still don't have them all oriented correctly, so we'll do it one more time. And now all of the corners are in the right spot. So now we'll put yellow on the bottom and solve each one of the corners. We'll bring the next unsolved corner over and solve that one, the next one, and the last one. And it's now solved. To make the daisy in this scramble, I can bring up this edge first, and I next see this one. And now I have 2 edges in the bad case, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the front side, because there was no solved edge up here, turn the top until there's an unsolved slot and bring it up, and do the same for here. We now have our daisy, and now we will bring the centers down to make the white cross. Now that we have our cross solved, we need to bring corners down into the bottom layer. So I see this corner first, so I'll put it above the right slot and insert it. Next I see the blue, orange, and white corner, so I'll put it between the blue and orange sides and insert that corner. Now this one. And last we have this corner, which is in the slot correct, but it's not oriented correctly, so we'll have to take it out and then reinsert it. I now see that we don't have any edges solved yet, but I see this one that doesn't have yellow on it, so I'll go ahead and solve that edge. Now I see this one. Then I see that there's just this one up here, so I can solve that one. And at last we have this edge. We now need to make our yellow cross. We once again have a horizontal line, so we'll do that algorithm. And let's check if any of our edges are oriented. Right now we have the opposite edges oriented case, so we'll put them until they make a vertical line and do the edge orientation algorithm. And now we should have edges oriented and adjacent corners unoriented, so we'll put the unsolved ones in the bottom left and we'll solve those. And now that we have all our edges solved, we need to check if our corners are solved correctly. None of our corners are in the right position, so we'll have to do the algorithm once to get one of them in the right position. Now we should have one in the correct position, and that one hasn't popped. Oh, it's right here. So we'll put that in the top right and do the algorithm again. We still don't have all our corners correct, so we'll do the algorithm one more time. Now that we have all our corners in the correct spot, we'll put yellow on the bottom and solve every single one of them. So I'll do this corner first. Move the next unsolved one over. This one is next. And this one is last. And now we have solved the cube. That's all for today's video. I'll have more example solves in the future. Be sure to check out speedcubeshop.com if you're looking to buy cubes. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and that's it for today.